Hello, everybody. Thanks all. I'm Antoine Ragono. We are A6A from Bordeaux. We are three associates, and we will present houses and more especially families project. There is like 4 or 5 houses we have built. Then Roberto.
Hello, everybody. So what we try to do in this expose is to talk about our family houses production and 4 or 3 kind of approach that we have been developing in the studio. So we will talk about landscape and context. In this case, in this house situated in Lacanau, which is a little city close to the sea in the south of France. We were located between some pines like this. The work was to consisted in build an extension of a house really in the middle of the pines. Then this kind of intervention was also in the Pontaillac house, which already exposed here in the exhibition, and we were also talking about the landscape and how to come between the trees, how the trees mark their shadows on the architecture.
Yeah, and so this is another house near Bordeaux also. We work a lot in southwest of France. It's Pessac, and it's we call it a twin house because it's 2 houses made like in the similar plan. And we try to work with very simple lines and plan in something that is very open to the landscape, even if sometimes the neighborhood is more like very traditional. We try in our architecture to have something more abstract and going in the very like simple architecture, and also something that is not very expensive. This one is very particular because it's a house that we can move, and it's a self-sufficient house. It made its own energy, it recycle the water, it has a fire inside. And so this house is like it square the landscape. We can move it, we have already moved it a few times. And this one it was in south of France, and it went to the middle of France last week. It's called Eva, H-A-V-A. Also, another house we call modular house in Talent, near Bordeaux, and it was the clients order us to like to make a house with 4 apartments inside, the co-living, and it's we are still in this kind of city, very traditional, old, but it's not a lot of qualities, and we try to make something clear here. Always open with a lot of outside spaces, and in between, working between the public space and how we enter in the house, the parcours, maybe.
Another kind of work that we are developing in the studio is about the matter and the light, how the architecture of these family houses work with these two materials. So here we work with so raw materials like the wood instead, and inox at the chimney. Here in the house of in Pontaillac, we work with concrete and coated white coat. Also in Pessac. So the way is always trying to use few materials, and even if the budget is not really high, try to show them as they are. Also for Eva, where we work with burned wood. And here in Talence, with a modular house. We were working with the code and the wood of the terrace.
And then we find it in those works. We always work in the opening and the views to have like very big frames. We think like in our architecture is kind of massive, but with big holes, no. And it's always this relation to find something between no inside outside, as I said before, but we try to work in how we open a window, a door. Is it from inside? Can we the move we do with our hands? And so here it's everything go from outside. It's from the top to the ceiling. And again, how we work in sliding windows. Sometimes it's we really like this game of the windows, no? And so, yeah, here we see the twin houses, and it's not exactly the same, but it's like very open with a through view. And Eva, which is like here, it's very nice because it's only 20 square meters. So it's almost this we have here. And the windows, it's 4 meters, more than 4 meters, and it go inside the walls. And so when you open, you don't really know if where you are, if it's inside or outside. And all the terrace is the same size of the main place. And it's very strange feeling and very nice also. And here, so the view. It's more like the context is more important than the house. So yeah, these two facades, it's interesting because it's from the street. We have only one level. And in Bordeaux, a lot of houses, the garden is one level down. And so from the garden, it's kind of very small building, and we can see like the 3 different bedrooms, which are like most kind of apartments, where you can rent only one with everything inside, and you share only the kitchen.
And another kind of subject we have 2 minutes to finish is about the drawing and the plans and how we imagine all these kind of spaces. So what we work in all the houses is main spaces who are functional, because in the other side you have the spaces like here in the black frame, who deserve all the main spaces. Here in Pontaillac, we did the same with the main spaces below of the plan, with the terrace and all the functional spaces in the like the entrance and the access to the garage and the toilets, etc. in the other side. Pessac is the same way. With this section, we show that the in-between spaces also are like one of the questions that we try to answer always. In Eva, it was like the exercise of all the houses in a really tiny space, and that's what Michel was explaining before. And this house who is like one level in the street facade, and 3 levels in the garden part.
So yeah, I think, well, it repeats a bit, but it's always this relation we like, you know, inside, outside, the material from the site, the context, working with people, very like craftsman, and do a lot of details. We like small details in architecture, and working with these few materials, we always find it. And so it was interesting to do this work to present you these 5 houses, because for us it's like introspection of the work on the houses we do. And we have finished. So thank you very much. Venezia.
Thank you very much.